gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, I'm back in the kitchen again today, and I thought today that I would make another sort of classic French dish with a twist. So what I'm going to make today are Leeks Vinaigrette, and of course we have our leeks. Now this is a classic French dish, which is very simply leeks which are blanched in boiling water and then let to cool, and then you would drizzle over it a simple French vinaigrette. Sometimes it's also served with what's called a sauce gribiche, which really is only a mayonnaise which you make with hard-boiled eggs instead of raw eggs, and then it usually has an addition of capers and herbs, parsley, things like that, and that's usually spooned over the leeks themselves. I'm going to take some of those classic ingredients and I'm going to add the addition of sardines, because of course I've got to have sardines in this. And really we're working with very few ingredients here. Of course, like I said, we have the leeks, have our sardines. Today I'm using this French brand of sardines. This one is with sardines au citron confit, which means that this has like preserved lemon, and I think that'll be a nice flavor for this dish. And they always have really cool tins for the fish. They have really cool pictures on there, but this is a French brand. And then to make our vinaigrette, I have some Dijon, olive oil, some red wine vinegar, salt and pepper, of course, and then to bring those kind of flavors of the sauce gribiche, I have some hard-boiled eggs, which I'm not going to be putting into the dressing, and some capers, which I'm just going to use all of this to garnish our finished dish. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is to get our leeks ready, and leeks can be very, very dirty. As you know, they grow just like a kind of a green onion, and a lot of dirt can get down among these leaves. Fortunately, we're only going to be using this part of it, and there tends to be the dirt usually is up in this area, so we're going to wash those off really good and get those ready to put into the boiling water. So I'll show you that next. Let's make a little bit of room here and move some of this stuff from the cutting board. Okay, and then we have our leeks. Now what we're going to do is, the first thing is we're going to cut the root end off, and then we're only going to use this part right here, so I'm going to cut it right here. You can see some of the dirt that goes down in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little slit into this, just like this, so that we'll be able to get in here and clean these off a little bit better. And I'm going to do that with all of these leeks. So we'll cut this part off. Okay, just like that. And then once again, I'm going to put some slits here on the greener end of the leeks. Okay, and that's our leeks right there, and we're going to get those and put those into our boiling water. Now this part of the leek is great. It's not trash. You can use this to we need to wash it off really well, because you can see how dirty it is, but you can use this for your stocks and soup. This really works great as a flavoring for your stock. So we're going to save this, and I'll make some chicken stock later. Okay, over at the stove I have our water. It just came up to a boil. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to our water, and then here are our leeks, which we prepared. Now I took these to the sink and I washed them off really well, and you can see there's no more sand or dirt inside there. So I'm going to lower these into the water, And I'm going to let those cook until they're tender. Okay, while our leeks are cooking, we're going to put our vinaigrette together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have my little bowl here, and then I'm going to add some Dijon mustard. I like a good amount of Dijon mustard. And then actually I'm going to open up this can of sardines. Let's see. Okay. And then I'm going to, I don't often use the oil for when I cook with sardines, but today when I do a salad, I like to use the oil for the dressing, so I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to drizzle that oil into there. I'm also going to add some more extra olive oil to this, as well as some of our red wine vinegar. Just like that. And then of course some salt and some fresh ground pepper. I'm going to switch over to my whisk, and then we're just going to bring this all together into a nice light emulsion, just like that. Very simple, and that really is your basic French vinaigrette, minus the sardine oil, of course. A little bit more olive oil to thicken this up a little bit. Okay, we'll put that aside, and we're just going to wait for our leeks to finish cooking, and then we'll finish our dish. Okay, it's only been about 6 or 7 minutes, and we're going to check the doneness of these. These just want these leeks to be tender here in the fat end, so these are pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to take them out and let them cool down just a little bit. Actually want them to cool down to close to room temperature, which is the way we'd serve them. Just like that. Okay, so these have cooled off a little bit. They're still slightly warm, but I'm going to cut them in half and start to prepare our dish. So just like that. I'm going to lay these in there. Let me see. Okay. Just like that. Okay, looks like that. Looks pretty. Okay, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vinaigrette and I'm going to add one of these sardines into our vinaigrette, and I'm going to just kind of smush this in. Just like that. Okay, let's take our, so what we want to do, I think, is we'll add a little bit of salt and pepper. Just like that. And then I'm going to take some of our sardine vinaigrette. I'm going to ladle that all over these leeks here. Just like that. Be a little run around the side. And then let's see, we'll take some of our sardines. Look at those. Just like that. And then maybe a little bit of our hard-boiled egg. Just like that. And then some of our capers. And a little bit of chopped parsley. Just like that. Okay, there's our dish. Okay, there it is. My take on Leeks Vinaigrette. I'm going to call this Leeks Vinaigrette with sardines. Looks delicious. It smells really good. Can't wait to get into this. Okay. I have a little piece of leek with some sardine and some of that vinaigrette on there. Wow, that really goes together well. Now the leeks, even though they're a type of onion or similar to, they have a very mellow flavor, especially when cooked this way. And the nice tanginess from the vinaigrette is a perfect complement. Of course, it's a classic dish, right? Now the addition of the sardines adds another element that tastes super delicious. Get some of the leek. Some of the hard-boiled egg. So like I said, we're bringing in some of those flavors of the sauce gribiche, would be the hard-boiled eggs and the capers and the parsley with the vinaigrette. Just really comes together and really brings a lot of those flavors in without actually making a mayonnaise. That is so good. And the nice thing is that leeks are really inexpensive, so this is a great way to make an inexpensive meal out of something that you see in the grocery store and you don't use that often. Well, I do though, but I always try to keep some leeks in the refrigerator so that I can use them for sauces and stocks and soups and things like that. But don't forget to use the simple leek as the star of the show. That is so good. It's so delicious. Typically, this is a very light dish with the leeks and the vinaigrette, and that's it, really. Typically, but the addition of the sardines really brings it up to another level, to a whole another thing, and definitely makes this substantial enough to eat as a meal just by itself. So next time you're in the grocery store and you see those leeks and you don't know what to do with them, this is a simple idea. It's really quick to make and it's really tasty. So, give it a try and let me know what you think. It's definitely worth it. If you like this video, please subscribe. That always helps us a lot. And we'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye-bye. Man. Any excuse to eat sardines too, right? And making the vinaigrette like that with the sardine oil and even smishing up some of the sardines in there would be great on some romaine lettuce as sort of an alternative to kind of a Caesar dressing. Definitely worth a try.